What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Eamon. This is my 2017 BMW 330i right behind me, and in today's video we're going to be making the exhaust appear more expensive than it really is. So if you guys aren't familiar with this car, again, it's a 2017 BMW 330i. That does mean it has the B46, and typically on these cars it'll have an exhaust that's dual exit on the left side. The exhaust tips are a lot smaller, they don't look too great, but I actually went ahead and swapped out the exhaust with a 340i exhaust, which of course is this dual exit exhaust over here. So unfortunately guys, if you have a 330 or any other 4-cylinder BMW, this isn't going to directly apply to you unless you did what I did and you put a 6-cylinder exhaust on your car, like from a 335, 340, 440, something like that. This mod is actually only for the 6-cylinder models, but again, since I put the exhaust from the 6-cylinder, it applies to me. So I'm sorry to all you 4-cylinder people out there, because I know a lot of you guys watch my channel, but if you do end up doing what I did and swapping out the exhaust, you can definitely do this next mod. So if you guys haven't figured it out by now, what we're going to be doing is swapping out the exhaust tips on this exhaust system for some much nicer, more aggressive ones from Berger Motorsports. Now, if you guys can see, these OEM ones, they're okay, they're not bad, but these ones are pretty beat. The guy who I bought this exhaust from definitely didn't like regularly clean them, and overall they look pretty small and just not super aggressive. Again, they're fine, but they could be a lot better. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a bit now, you'll know that I used to have a 435, and on that car, I actually swapped out the exhaust tips for Berger Motorsports ones. Those ones were like a nice satin or matte black color. They're absolutely beautiful. The 435 was white, so the black tips I think looked really good, but on this car, I wanted to do something a little different. So Berger Motorsports offers them in two finishes, one of course being that matte black, and then the next one a polished silver. So that's the one I went with this time around. And here they are, guys, the polished silver exhaust tips from Berger Motorsports. Now, if you're not familiar with Berger Motorsports and everything that they make, I put a whole bunch of their stuff on this car, on the 435. Everything that they make is super high quality, and these exhaust tips are definitely no different. They look absolutely beautiful. They're also a larger diameter, so although these ones look okay and they are kind of silver, maybe if I clean them up they'll look more silver, but they're definitely not that big. But when we put these ones on, it's just going to fill up the diffuser cutout a lot more. Now, something to note, because I was wondering this, these do not look chrome. These look like polished silver. They're like a nice shiny-ish silver, but they're definitely not chrome. I wouldn't call them chrome, so I'm personally not a fan of chrome, but this I think looks really sophisticated. It looks really classy. And now the reason why I went with this finish on this car is because I think silver is going to really pop on this black car, whereas the black exhaust tips I thought looked really good on the white 435, but it's totally up to you guys. Now again, that was just my personal preference. I wanted to do the silver on this black car. One, just because for me and what I do with YouTube and Instagram, I think the silver is going to pop a lot more on pictures. I also think it's a nice contrast between the black car. And lastly, I actually wanted it to match the 330i badge on the car. The reason why I'm keeping that badge is because I don't want people to start saying like I'm a fake 340. I want to make it clear, guys, this is a 330i. Although I have the 340 exhaust, it's still a 330i, which I'm fine with. But regardless, that 330i badge combined with these exhaust tips, I think is going to be some nice accent color and contrast on this rear bumper here. So that's personally why I chose the silver this time around. But again, guys, the matte black looks really good as well. I loved it on the 435, so I'll leave a link to both of them down in the description below. You guys honestly can't go wrong with either one. All right, so now with all of that said, let's get to installing these things. Now, in my last video about the ones for the 435, I did a full install video. These things are super easy to install, guys. Like legit, I think anyone can do them. So if you guys are thinking about doing this to your exhaust to make it look a little more premium, a lot more aggressive, I would highly recommend it. It's reasonably priced. It's Berger Motorsports, so it's amazing quality, and it is super easy to install. So if you guys want to know how to install it, definitely go check out that other video. But in this one, I'm just going to knock it out really quick. Alright guys, and just like that, the new exhaust tips are on. And in my opinion, this exhaust system now doesn't look factory. I mean, it's technically factory, it's OEM, but it doesn't look like it, at least. Like, someone might see this and think it's an aftermarket exhaust. It just looks a lot more aggressive, a lot more premium. And honestly guys, I'm really liking the whole polished silver look. Like I thought, it matches the 330i badge really well. And this is sort of a spoiler, but I'm going to be going with silver wheels on this car. Again, I just really like that contrast of a black car with some silver accents on it. Not chrome. I definitely don't like chrome, but a nice brushed or polished silver I think looks really good, and it looks really classy. You might already know, but my goal with this F30 is to make like the ultimate daily driver. I do want the car to look more aggressive, but at the same time, I want it to look classy and sophisticated, because this is the car that I'm going to be taking to work. So I don't want like something super crazy, but these exhaust tips, in my opinion, are the perfect amount of aggression. They look really good with that polished silver. And again guys, if you do want that matte black finish, which I think is going to be more popular, definitely feel free to go for it. That one also looked really good. If you guys want to see more about it, definitely go check out the video on the 435. But for this car, I think these ones are perfect. So yeah, just overall, I think this is a great way to make your exhaust look a little more expensive, make it look a little more premium and not so OEM. Because just as a reminder, here are the OEM exhaust tips. Now, again guys, nothing particularly wrong with them, but compared to these Burger Motorsports ones, it's really no comparison. It also doesn't help that these ones are just so dirty and beaten up, but regardless, it doesn't compare to the ones for Burger Motorsports, so definitely a huge upgrade. But yeah, otherwise guys, I'm really liking the way that this rear end is turning out. Now with the diffuser, those bumper extensions, these exhaust tips, even the spoiler. Like, if you guys remember what this car looked like when it was at its base form, this one actually wasn't even an M Sport to begin with, so it was literally just a base model rear bumper. And honestly guys, this is a huge transformation already. We still have to lower the car, we have to get some wheels, we have to do a whole bunch more, but already, I mean, this rear end is looking so good. Again, it definitely looks a lot more aggressive than it did before, but it still looks classy with the silver accents, so I think this is perfect. But anyways guys, I know this was a quick, simple video, but I actually remember saying on the 435, I wish I did these exhaust tips sooner. So on this car, I definitely learned that lesson. I did it right away. I would highly recommend you guys doing the same. It just makes your exhaust look that much better. But anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop it a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.